So at this stage, I'm very much combining what I'm seeing in the reference with what I think will work for my painting. Okay, I'm going to go back to the filbert now and grab some of that orangey colour I had and mix it in with one of the light brown colours I used the other day. I'm just going to break up that little patch of white that I put down earlier. And coming back in with some tinting white. And a bit more of that same colour, but it's mostly tinting white now. And a fairly fluid mix of it. I want to just add a few subtle light areas. Back to my 1/2 inch flat. Let's just clean that up properly. So tinting white, fluid mix, and I'm squinting now at the reference. I'm just lightly, very lightly, it's kind of a combination of fluid but also almost a dry brush approach, if that makes sense, in that I'm just sort of feathering the brush tips across the paper. So I'm putting down a translucent layer of white, so when that dries back, you know, a lot of the colour work that I've done will still show through. And that's probably enough on the animal's body for the moment. Now the legs are looking perhaps rather too blue at the moment, but again, I don't mind that too much. But we will just add a little bit of titanium white with just the tiniest touch of a pale blue in there. I'll add just a few little bursts of that to create a highlight, but a fairly subdued one. And now I'm going to come in with a small round and a mixture of ultramarine and a touch of burnt umber. And we'll use that to put in a nostril. The line of the mouth, Little shadow under there. A little bit of artistic license there, but you know, that's the name of the game. A little bit of darkness here on this ear. I'll just make the outline of the head a little more dramatic and just raise the line of the top of the head there as well. And then I can begin to look at the rest of the animal and say to myself, okay, well, I've got this very dark colour to hand on my brush. Where else can I use that, you know, sparingly to just tidy things up a little, or so a little bit there. Not sure that's quite what I intended just then with that last mark, but we'll put a little line going down the leg there. A little bit there. Probably enough of that for the moment. Now for the eye on the main animal. Just cleaning out this little round brush, going to carry on with the same one. And what I'm going to do is grab some of that orangey colour that I had mixed up before. And I'm just going to put that down as is, where the eye is. Just trying to line that up about right. So it's around about here. That's not too bad. I don't think it's perhaps a little bit too. No, I think just trying to judge if that's in the right spot. That's what I'm talking to myself about. I think that's not too bad. Let's put a little bit more of that down. And then grabbing, I haven't cleaned the brush out, but I'm just grabbing a little touch of the titanium white. I'm going to put a little line of highlight in there, and then washing the brush out. Going to grab a little bit of pure burnt umber, and just below that highlight put in a little narrow line there. That started to bring hopefully the sheep's eye to life. Coming back in with that dark colour, let's just adjust this nostril a little bit. And then with the touch of the tinting white, just make sure the end of the nose is sort of connected to that nostril. Then back in with the purpley colour that I used. Can't remember where I used it now. I used it there, I think. So as that goes into shadow, we'll sort of connect the end of the nose a little better to the nostril. Now at the moment I've got rather a dark outline going on around that top edge of the head. So let's put some other darks. In and around the head without going too crazy. I want to keep some of that first layer of paint showing, but at the same time I needed to, hopefully you can see, I don't know how well that'll show up on camera, but by adding those patches of dark elsewhere within the silhouette of the head, it stopped that blue outline from sticking out too much. All right, so that sheep is sort of coming together reasonably well, I feel. I think I could probably do with a few more brighter highlights though on the animal. I want to make those a little multicolored. So what we'll do is we'll grab titanium white and a little hint of yellow. And now that's too yellow, but that's okay. That's okay for what we're doing. And I'm deliberately going to cross over and partially obscure some of the pure white highlights that I put down, just to break those up a little.